So as you were at the top of the table over in the Vanarama National League after, of course, a unexpected, unplanned weekend of non-action in the Vanarama National League. But, of course, the teams are back at it for match number 8 this coming weekend. We're going to take a look at it, all of it, next. That's right, folks. Babs, giving another prediction video today. We are looking forward to officially match day number 9, but of course, technically, match day number 8 in this year's Vanarama National League. And we'll get to that in just one second. If you know where you've been, smash your subscribe button, bang it. All things Rovers related, National League related, World Cup related later this year. That's right, of course. The Vanarama National League returns for midweek action as, of course, all football across England and, of course, Scotland was cancelled or postponed this weekend in mark of respect for Your Royal Highness Queen Elizabeth, who suddenly passed away this past week. So, of course, return to action. A lot of fans are disgruntled, but they are back to, of course, whet their appetite once again on the football pitch. We'll take a look at all of it in a second. Of course, big shout out to the VIPs. They are the patrons. You know who you are. But, of course, let's get into it. Of course, so as I said, as you were, which means Chesterfield are remaining top of the table because nothing, absolutely nothing went on in the Vanarama National League. So these were the games. These were my predictions. I'm not even going to go over them because nothing absolutely happened whatsoever. So those were the games. That's what we were looking forward to. But, of course, those will have to be played another time. And a recap of the table, there you go. Chesterfield lead the charge, 17 points on the board, with Wrexham breathing down the next with 16, and Notts County into third spot right here. Going down right now, Scunthorpe, Altrincham, Halifax and Aldershot. That's just a recap. And of course, nothing has changed. These were victorious last time. They remain, of course, this time because absolutely zilch has changed. No games played, no points scored, but this is the state of play right here. And now Callum H leads the charge with 42 points on the board with Jimmy Watton and Shane O'Donnell in the power trio, of course. If you want to get involved with this weekend's or this midweek action, of course, this is the link you want to get involved with. It's Cutley Forshast non-league. It is 100% free. And, of course, get your name in lights, of course. So those were the games that were supposed to take place, but these are the games that we are looking forward to this coming midweek. Of course, it will be taking place on the 13th of September. We're going to start at the top of the hour there. Altrincham against Scunthorpe United, of course, coming at you over at Altrincham. Now, these two sides have never played each other according to my eyes. Altrincham, 25% form for them without in the win in the last 12 games. Of course, up against the Scunthorpe side, also without a win in the last 6. They're on 0% form. Of course, Scunthorpe last match there was against Boreham. They lost 2-0 on that one. In fact, they haven't scored a goal in the last 3 games. Altrincham coming to us on the back of that 5-1 drubbing by Solihull Moors back on the 3rd of September. It feels like a lifetime ago. And of course, the odds for this game, Scunthorpe are in trouble, and it could actually be double relegations for them, or back-to-back relegations, should I say, on this one. Altrincham are favourite to win this game. Got basic odds on this one, and I'm going to go with a 1-0 win for Altrincham because I just don't see any fight in Scunthorpe United right now. I don't know why. They start off with Keith Hill, a respected manager, of course, but the fight's not there at the moment for Scunthorpe United. Next, of course, we have Boreham taking on Maidenhead. Again, taking place on the 13th of September. Played each other 20 times since 2010. 3 draws between the two sides, 12 wins for Boreham, and we got 5 wins for Maidenhead. Of course, Boreham unbeaten in the last 4 games. Just want to be past 6 of them, 67% form for them moving forward. Maidenhead, of course, 4 games without to win for them, 42% form for them moving forward. Once again, last time around, over in Boreham, it was a 4-0 win back in November 2021. A comfortable win it was, but just 1 win in 3 though for them. Over Maidenhead in the last 3 games. Of course, Maidenhead with a 1-1 draw against Halifax down. That was back on the 3rd of September. Boreham with a 2-0 win over Scunthorpe and actually make it back-to-back wins, scoring 6 goals in the last 2 games combined. They're expected to win this game quite comfortably as well, good according to the bookies. And again, I'm backing with the bookies on this one with a 2-1 win in the end for Bournemouth. 3 points in the bag, and again moving the chains once again. Meanwhile, next up, of course, we have Eastleigh. They're locking horns up against Yeovil, of course, coming at you over in Eastleigh. Now these two sides, according to my eyes, have played each other about 5 times in 2019, 2 as a piece, and just 1 draw, of course. Eastleigh, 58% form for them. Back-to-back defeats, of course, over the last 6 games. Yeovil onto this one, just 1 win in 6, 42% form over the last 6 games as well. Last time around, over at Eastleigh, it was a nil draw back in February 2022. The Wealdstone only won once the last 5 out of these, and that was when Eastleigh beat Yeovil in Yeovil way back in, of course, December 2020. Eastleigh pick up a 2-1 loss against Bromley, of course, and Yeovil with a 1-0 loss against York, and they've actually gone back-to-back games without a goal. In fact, just scores 1 goal in the last 3 heading into this. But the odds go in favour of Eastleigh, the home side on this one. For me, I think it's going to be quite tight. Going to go with a 1-1 draw right down the middle and a point split for me on this one. Next, of course, we have Barnet up against Dorking, of course, coming at you over in Barnet. Now, these two sides have played each other 2 times since 2020. Of course, 2 wins out of 2 for Dorking, nothing for Barnet, and no draws as well. Barnet, though, 58% form for them right now. They're currently actually at 7th in the table, winning 3 of the last 6. Against the Dorking side, of course, coming at you in 18th spot, picking up just 7 points so far this season. 3 defeats on the spin. Last time round, of course, over it was in Dorking. It was the FA Trophy back in December 2020. A 3-1 win it was. Of course, Dorking picked up a 5-0 loss against Wrexham. They've actually conceded, conceded 12 goals in the last 3 games. They are on a hiding to nothing at the moment. Of course, as for Barnet, they come into something again that 3-1 loss against Aldershot, but they're expected to win this game, Barnet. And I'm going to go with a 2-1 win for the hosts on this one. Turning it 3 points and hopefully move up the ladder once again. Kick it off forward, it will be Chesterfield up against Southend, of course, coming at you over at Chesterfield. And these two sides have played each other 16 times, 2005, 7 wins apiece, and 2 draws as well. Southend, 50% form for them, 1-2 lost to and drawn to over the last 6. They're coming at you at 13th spot in the table, up against the Chesterfield side, who are coming at you in top spot, 92% form for them, unbeaten in the last 6 games. We got 5 wins as well over the last 6. Last round over in Chesterfield was a 2-2 draw back in March 2022. That was in the league, of course. Chesterfield unbeaten against Southend over the last 3. We got a couple of wins and a draw to boot. Meanwhile, Southend picked up a 2-1 loss against Torquay last round. Chesterfield with a 2-0 win over Oldham last round. And again, the odds on this one go in favour of the hosts, which is, of course, Chesterfield. And I'm betting back them as well. With a 2-0 win for Chesterfield, 3 points in the bag, remain top of the pops. Next, of course, Woking. They're going to be taking on, of course, Oldham Athletic, of course, coming at you over at Woking. Now, these two sides, according to my eyes, they play each other never. Of course, Woking, though, just 1 win and 6th, then 58% form, coming at you at 10th spot in the table. Of course, the Oldham side, just 1 win and 5, and then 42% form for them moving forward. And they are coming at you in 14th right now. Chesterfield did beat Oldham last round 2-0, of course. It's been back-to-back games now without a win for Oldham, up against the Woking side, who, of course, back-to-back games unbeaten, of course, pick up a draw against Wealdstone at Wealdstone last time. And the odds right here right now coming at you are Woking. They are favoured to win this game. And, of course, Oldham are unfancied there at longer odds than that. It's going to go with a win for nobody here. 1-1 right down the middle. Put in the bag for Oldham. Maybe, just maybe, there is fight in that locker there, and they could actually make a run for the playoffs, if not more than that, if they can get their act together. Halifax Town up against Gateshead, of course, coming to chat over at Halifax. Now, these two sides, according to my eyes, have played each other 12 times since 2013. 3 wins for Halifax, nothing for Gateshead, and 9 draws. Wow, wow, wee, wow. Just 1 win and 6 of Halifax Town right now. They're 22nd in the table. They are in trouble. However, back-to-back games unbeaten now up against the Gateshead side, who did pick up a win in the last round, but 33% form over the last 6 games. Last round, though, over at Halifax Town, it was a 1-0 win for Halifax. They're actually unbeaten against Gateshead over the last 6, picking a couple of wins and 4 draws as well. Meanwhile, Halifax Town pick up a draw against Maidenhead. That was back on September the 3rd. Gateshead with a big 4-1 win over Maidstone at home. When Gateshead are playing at home, that's when they, of course, are serious contenders. On the road, though, they are slouches, none the same. Of course, they are favoured to lose this game. Halifax Town are backed to win it to the distance. 2-0 win in the end for me for Halifax, and again, climbing the ladder. Up they go. Next up, of course, we have Maidstone United against Wealdstone, of course, coming at you over in Maidstone again on the 13th of September. Played each other 7 times since 2013, 2 wins apiece and 3 draws. Maidstone, 50% form for them, win 3, lose 3 over the last 6 up against the Wealdstone side. Unbeaten the last 5, 67% form for them, moving forward once again. Last time around, though, over in Maidstone, it was a 1-0 win for Maidstone back in November 2015. In fact, the away side hasn't won this game in the last 6 occasions, stretching all the way back to 2013 and beyond. So it's up. It's a tall order for the away side to win here, whether you are Maidstone or whether you are Wealdstone. Of course, coming at you though, Wealdstone with a draw against Woking, back-to-back draws for them. Of course, just 1 goal conceded over the last 4 games for them. Maidstone, of course, did concede 4 goals in 1 game, and that was last time around against Gateshead. The odds right here right now, Maidstone are favoured on this one. Wealdstone, of course, are underdogs, but of course, Maidstone coming into doing pretty good for themselves. They're up to 6 right now, with Maidstone down into 12. But I'm backing a 0-0 draw on this one. Another clean sheet to boot for Wealdstone, but of course, no major movement up the table. Notts County against Aldershot, coming at you, of course, played each other 10 times in 2008. 3 wins Notts County, 4 for Aldershot, and 3 draws, of course. Notts County, they're unbeaten in the last 8 games, pick up 3 wins and 3 draws over the last 6. That's 75% form for them. Up against the Aldershot side, who've won twice out of the last 6. That's 33% form for them moving forward as well. Last time around, though, over in Notts County, it was a 3-2 win for Notts County. That was back in September 2021. Notts County pick up a 5-0 win over Dagenham. Back-to-back clean sheets for them. Up against the Oldham side and Aldershot side with a 3-1 win over Barnet last round. Notts County coming at you at 3rd in the table, with Aldershot down into 21st, with Notts County overwhelming favourites on this one, and I do see them winning this one convincingly. 2-0 win in the end, and it might be more than that. So 2-0 for me, Notts County with the 3 points and move the chains again. Next of all, Torquay up against Solihull Moors, coming at you over at Torquay as well. Same day as everybody else. 9 times they played each other since 2016. 4 wins apiece and 1 draw, of course. Torquay, they're winning just the ones of the last 5, 33% form for them. Up against Solihull Moors side, just 1 defeat at past 6, 67% form for them moving forward as well. Last round in Torquay was a 2-0 win for Solihull. That was back in January 2022. They've actually won back-to-back games over Torquay. That was back in last season. Torquay pick up a 2-1 win over Southend last time around. The Solihull was with a 5-1 win over Altrincham, of course, last time around. The odds on this one favour the away side here. They are favoured convincingly over Torquay to get the W, and I'm backing them as well with a 2-1 win for Solihull Moors on the road, 3 points in the bag, and of course moving up the ladder they go. They're currently at 4th with Torquay down into 16th or something along those lines as well. Meanwhile, Wrexham Deadpool FC up against Dagenham and Redbridge. I actually just started watching the documentary about Wrexham just yesterday. Played each other 14 times in 2007. It's just 4 wins for Wrexham, 6 wins for Dagenham, and 4 draws, of course. Just 4 wins on the bounce for Wrexham right now, 75% form for them over the last 6. Up against the Dagenham side who've won twice our last 6 games, 42% form for them moving forward as well. Last round over in Wales, it was a 1 win for Wrexham. That was back in September 2021. In fact, the away side hasn't won this game since Wrexham beat Dagenham in Dagenham back in October 2018. Dagenham, though, with a 5-0 drubbing by Notts County last time around. However, Wrexham with a 5-0 drubbing over Dorking last time around. In fact, they've scored 11 goals, 16 goals over the last 4 games. They are red hot to trot right now. They are favoured quite convincingly to win this game. Of course, they're coming at you in second in the table, and for them, they could potentially go top. And I'm going to see them with a 3-0 win, convincing win again, to make a push for that top spot heading into the weekend as well. Meanwhile, we wrap it up with York up against Bromley, of course, coming at you over at York. Now, these two sides played each other 3 times in 2016. 3 wins out of 3 for Bromley, of course. They come into this, though, just 1 defeat past 6. 75% form for them right now in 8th in the table. Up against the York side, who coming at you just 1 defeat past 5. 50% form, of course, 1-2, lost 2, and drawn 2 heading into this. Last time around, over in York, it was a 2-0 win for Bromley back in April 2017. That was in the National League. Bromley with a 2-1 win over Eastleigh last time around. York with a 1-0 win over Yeovil in the Battle of the Wise, of course. The odds on this one go in favour of York. They are the hosts here, and they are favoured by the bookies, and they're also favoured in my eyes. 2-1 win for York on this one, 3 points in the bag. And if I am right, which I bloody well hope so, this is what the table will look like. Of course, Chesterfield remaining top of the pops, 20 points over possible, I don't know, whatever it is, 26. And of course, Wrexham, and that's Notts County with Solihull Moors, Boreham, Barnet, and then Wealdstone. Going down, Dorking, Gateshead, Aldershot, and Scunthorpe United. That's, of course, my take on all of this, of course, as football returns after a weekend break. Unexpected, of course, but don't forget to get your predictions in. Cut the 4/non-league, and we'll see you back around for the next one. Whenever that is, of course, there are rumours that the weekend's games after these games will be postponed as well. So we'll have to wait and see when, of course, the Vanarama National League will actually return after this game. So, of course, bear that in mind. But until then, smash your subscribe, smash the thumbs up, smash the little bell. Of course, we'll see you all for the next time, whenever that is. But until then, we're done.